Alright guys, so today we're taking just a slight break from headphones to look at Samsung's new smartwatch. It's the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active. And before we get into my thoughts and my opinions on it, I thought we'd do something a little bit different. We're going to do an unboxing, but I'm also going to kind of do a little montage during this setup, and let's just check it out. Alright guys, so today we're taking a look at the brand new Samsung Galaxy Watch. Now, it just came out with the release of the S10 phones, but it's kind of getting overlooked because the S10 phones are getting all the recognition. Now, this is a newer look from Samsung, and I figured we would just take a look at this together. Now, as you can see, it says it has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and GPS. So it has all of the connections you would want in a fitness-style smartwatch. So let's look at what's inside the box. Okay, there you can see the watch, but before we look at that, inside of here we have the wireless charger. It's great to have these magnetic ones because it's nice to just sit your watch on it and it start charging. But with the watch and the new S10 lineup and the S10 phones having wireless charging on the back of the phones, you can just sit the watch on top of the phone and it will start charging. But as you can see, it's USB on one end and, like I said, the magnetic charger on the other. Now, you do get two bands in here. It's basically one style band, but you get different sizes. I think this is the large attachment, and it's the silicone material, kind of like the ones that come on the Apple Watch. And then we have the watch itself. Now, this is the all black model. I believe they have maybe 2 or 3 different other colors that kind of go along with the colors of the phones. I don't know. Like I said, this is the all black model. I do like this. It's very sleek. It is small. Now, I do know that a lot of smartwatches have these very large displays. One thing I do want to point out that I noticed right away is I would have liked for them to go the direction that they're going with the phones, which is basically the screen going from edge to edge. But there is a pretty good sized bezel along the whole side of this. And since Samsung kind of eliminated that rotating dial they used to have to be able to switch between things, they took that off of this one, and I think they just replaced it with a plain black bezel. I would have liked to, again, seen this screen go all the way edge to edge because it is a fairly small screen, but I guess if you're going to compare it to other smaller smartwatches or fitness watches, it's kind of in line, so I can see how that makes sense. Now, this does have a 40mm face and a 20mm band. So the 20mm band is kind of average for most small size watches. I'm going to go ahead and set this thing up and we'll be right back. So my opinion on Samsung's Galaxy Watch Active is actually pretty positive. It is a $200 smartwatch, but I guess in a way you have to look at it as more of a fitness watch than a smartwatch because they did pull on some of the features. Now, the watch itself does not have a speaker, so for people that like to listen to their voicemails or be able to take a call and respond just off your watch, you can't do that. It's not going to play anything out loud, but it does have a microphone, so you are able to do voice replies with text messages and also voice commands within the watch. But they do include NFC, so you're able to, put your credit or debit card on here, so to be able to use Samsung Pay, which is very, very beneficial, especially if you're out and about and you need to make a purchase and you don't have your wallet. Let's just say you go for a jog and you run by the store and you need to pick something up. Just use your watch. One of the other things I do want to note, because I think most smartwatches nowadays are pretty big. I mean, they're like 46 millimeters on a lot of the Samsung's newer lineup. This is a 40 millimeter, so it has a smaller watch face. Some people want that though. They don't want the bigger, more obnoxious looking watch faces if they have a smaller wrist. Now, if you have a bigger wrist, this might look silly because it's kind of small. I do wish the bezel, especially with Samsung pushing their phones to having no bezels. I mean, there's no lens on here. It really should have just been all display, edge to edge, and it would have looked absolutely amazing. But again, the overall look of it, I do like a lot. I think these are going to sell pretty well. I think more people are going to buy this to use as a smartwatch than as the fitness side of it, but it does integrate Samsung's health. So there are different workouts that you can do that it'll time you on, and it keeps up with your stats, keeps up with your steps. It also will assist you as far as sleeping. Now, their advertisement says days with the battery without having to charge. And although that is true, because you can get 2 days, it still kind of lacks when like the Fitbit Versa can get about 5 days. So I can almost go a week with the Fitbit Versa where I can only go 2 days with this. Now that's not a big deal because most things I charge at night. This wouldn't be any different. So that's not a huge deal to me, but it might be to some of you guys. Now, the water resistance, the fact that it's 50 meters, you can pretty much do anything and not worry about messing up this watch. And again, that is a huge plus because you can be out and it's raining, or you could fall into a pool. Anything could happen. You got to wash your hands, and that's not a concern. And I think most smartwatches at this point need to have just water resistant and waterproof. It does again integrate Samsung's, I don't know if it's Phison or Tizen, however they call their operating system that's on the smartwatch. There are plenty of watch faces. They don't have a ton of apps, but they have like the main ones that most people would use, like Spotify, I use. It does have its own Bluetooth, so if you want to pair a pair of headphones and then just listen to music straight off the watch, you can. So the watch itself, for people that are more health oriented, it will check your blood pressure. It can also check your stress level and tell you that, okay, you need to stop, you need to take a breather. So it can sense that if you're a little stressed at the moment, which is a really big thing. Some people don't realize in their job or their day-to-day activities when they're hitting that point of being really stressed because they're just used to doing it all the time. So the watch itself has its benefits. And I think the fact that the $199 price tag puts it right there with the Fitbit Versa. And actually, it's giving you features like the Samsung Smart Pay that the Fitbit Versa doesn't on the $199 model. You actually have to bump up to the $230 model to get that. So guys, I know I don't normally review watches, and I won't say that this is a review. This is just kind of my unboxing and first impressions of the watch itself. I love the sleek look. I love just everything is clean. Again, I just wish the display was a little bit bigger because if you have fat fingers, it's kind of hard to navigate around it, but that's just me and this big finger. But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, guys, make sure to stay tuned for more.